Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's Interesting Modelling Co. Midweek Review. Hurrah! Well, we've got hurrah, exactly. We've got several things tonight. We will be joined by Spencer a bit later, apparently. He wants to join in later, so that'll be a pleasant surprise. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to do the conclusion of Matchbox May tonight, and then we have an exciting unboxing to do. Ooh. I don't really all know what it is, but we'll keep it exciting anyway. So anyway, Drew, how are you?
All right, actually. All right. I took the day off work, so I'm now, and I've got Monday off, so I'm now first day into quite a long weekend. So yeah, a few things planned. A couple of model shop visits on Saturday, I think.
All right. You off to, are you going to go to the scale model shed?
Well, yeah, one of my friends who's not actually in the hobby, he's just decided to. He's just started listening to We Have Waves Pod, and he decided to get in on the build that they're doing, the group build thing. And so now he's all over buying compressors and all sorts. And can you take me to model shops and can you show me how to use airbrushes? I'm like, yeah, of course, no problem. So he said, fancy a big boys' day out on Saturday to go to some model shops. And I'm like, yeah, all right, we can do that. So
which ones are you going to then?
Well, I mean, at the moment it'll be Jadlam or Scale Model Shed, or we might do a loop, see how we feel, see if we want the whole afternoon out, in which case we can do the loop, can't we? So because we've got model shops in Somerset, I don't know if people are aware, but
we are extraordinarily blessed with model shops.
Yeah, we're a positive glut these days of model shops, and so it's really important, I think, because however much people are always talking about bricks and mortar stores, and so I think it's really important that we support all of these places.
Yeah,
because they all, and for us in Somerset, there's Froome Model Centre, Scale Model Shed, Jadlam, Buffers, Antics. I'm firm fans of all of these places and think it's really important to share the love.
There's also the little one in Minehead, which is the model shop / Friday. I think it's called Friday News or something, but that's extraordinary little model shop there.
Yeah, and so I think it's really important that we kind of, whilst I would say probably the majority of my stuff is still, majority of my models are still come through the mail. The majority of them are still from Jadlam or Antics anyway. So, but the idea of going out to these shops and supporting them by buying products and stuff from them is just putting our money where our mouth is, isn't it?
Jim's asking, will pastries be in order during the hobby shop trip, Drew?
Yeah.
I know. It's just like, why don't you just walk into his house and slap his face, Jim?
What kind of a question's that?
Yes, exactly. It's always it's our trips to model shops tend to be kind of like, cafe stops with a model shop in between. It's
Yeah, and in terms of talking about what we buy, generally we all leave with a small carrier bag, but with 100 quid's worth of stuff in it. It's, it's not, we don't leave with loads of models, but we tend to leave with lots of money spent regardless.
Yeah. So, well, I'm fingers crossed. I'm desperately trying to get to. I'm hopefully going to get to Frome this month because I've been saying that for the last couple of months, but I do need to get to Frome because they got some goodies put by for me. So and also, I need to pick up some SMS paints and some other bits and pieces. So I'm unfortunately I'm because I'm at the moment I'm using up the last kind of like few weeks of my free West Somerset Railway pass. So I've been kind of like trying to do all the station stops along the way, and
I've been looking at some of your pictures, and the scenery is just spectacular, isn't it? It's just you just spend the day, just trundling back and forth, stopping and having a cup of tea.
Yeah, Stagumber was the revelation because it's literally it's just a station in the middle of nowhere. That's it. There's barely any houses around it. It is smack in the middle of the countryside, and yet it's still got the station building there. They've got a little cafe there that does teas and cakes and things. They got a little shop there. So I was sat there for 2 hours, writing postcards, reading some of the books they've got there, and feeding a very fat Robin donuts. So and it was good. It was lovely. So yeah, I've done pretty much all the stops now. I'm scheduled to go. I've got the day off tomorrow, so I'm scheduled to do a trip tomorrow because I haven't been down for a week or so. So I might do Washford and have a walk over to Cleve Abbey because I've got my English Heritage card, so I can get in for free. And then that'll be it. Once my free pass is used up, unfortunately, I have to pay like everybody else. So then
I keep meaning to. Among the list of things I mean to join are the National Trust and one of their railway thingies and start getting off.
English Heritage is very good. It's National Trust is very good. Recommend it. Anyway, we started off very cultured tonight, haven't we?
Well, yes, we are. That's because that's the kind of peoples we is.
We certainly. Culture isn't just what grows at the bottom of my cup when I don't wash it for a few days. It's actually arts and clevers and things, and books and smarts. So anyway, we are going to be doing our Matchbox May conclusion tonight, and we may as well talk about the elephant in the room.
Oh dear! What happened?
It hasn't.
I thought it was all going so well.
Sorry,
I thought it was all going so well.
It is going well. The problem is I didn't factor in the one biggest problem with this build.
I'm going to say the canopy.
No, me.
Oh right. Me. Well,
it's been a real struggle to really get into a workshop groove this month for some reason, and you'd think I would because it's Matchbox. But I think the fact that
I'm not surprised you spent most of it on the railway.
Well, there is that, obviously, yeah. But it's It's what we've all done it. We all get those periodic moments in in our modeling schedule where we sit in the workshop and we've got all the toys, we've got everything, and we just sit there and we just go, I'm not feeling it tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to say, folks, so the mojo will come back, but at the moment I'm just a little bit kind of I sit in here and I'm just like, I can't get my head into what I'm supposed to be doing. And I know I'm supposed to be doing, but I can't get my head into the right space. And when you are battling it like that, that's when everything starts to feel like a real chore. Yeah. Even the simplest things start to feel like a real chore. So I thought more important that I get this finished for Spencer's book and and finish it that way rather than trying to rush it to get it done for the end of the month deadline and then kind of like move on from there really. So got to be said though, I'll switch to the workshop camera actually because I used the Hataka paints on this. Let's just go solo layout. There we go. I used the Hataka the Hataka lacquers on this, and their contrast is very minimal. I think you can just about see the camouflage colours there.
I can see it better in the in the initial picture you put up.
Yes. Yeah, it's you can see it in that picture there. Yeah, you can see the colours there.
That looks really, really good.
I prefer a bit more contrast. I know on the Fleet Air Arm camo they did tend to be really quite low contrast colours, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna go down a rabbit hole of repainting it or anything like that. So I've just given it a coat of gloss last night because the Hataka paints also, when I sprayed them, they went on very, not streaky, but you can see, in fact, that's a good example where I tilt it to the light there. Can you see how it just kind of like, you get that kind of spray pattern and everything?
When did you get those Hataka paints?
A year or so ago.
Because when they initially released the lacquer range, and I bought some, I ended up sending them back and getting them changed because the initial ones were really translucent.
Wow!
And they sent them back, and I saw your thing about the sky being translucent, and I thought, yeah, that sounds like the first ones I had, and the ones I got they replaced them with were absolutely great, and all the ones I've had since have been great. But some of their colours are sometimes a little bit, shonky. I'm
not blaming my tardiness on the paints. Far from it. Plus, I do need to. I'm just going to go and grab the paints anyway. I do need to source some. Better decals as well because the Matchbox decals are hopelessly out of register. And it's Here we go. Look. It's interesting. The sky is in a yellow cap. It is a lacquer one, but the sky is in a yellow cap, orange cap rather, and that is really kind of translucent. Whereas the extra dark sea grey and the dark slate grey are in a black cap. So make of that what you will.
Yeah, they definitely did something to it very, very early on because the first ones, like I say, I found translucent to the point of being unusable. And they replaced, because I bought the RAF set and they more than happily replaced them. They were great about it, and the ones they sent me were superb. So, but yeah, I mean, so Paddy Modeler there says Hataka paint matches are really bad. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. It's it's the same with AK Real Colors. Some of their matches are terrible. Some of them are really good. I really, really like AK's Real Colors, dark slate grey and extra dark sea grey, but their sky is the same as Tamiya's. It needs cutting with about 50% white to be anywhere near. So even amongst sort of a set of colours for one subject, you kind of see good matches and bad matches. Their ocean grey and dark green, RAF ocean grey and dark green, Real Colours, are awful. The Hataka one's really nice.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with what nature has dealt me with this model at the moment. I know you mentioned the canopy. There is virtually nothing I can do with that canopy. It's just terrible.
I mean, I think you just have to accept that you're building something that's it's a 50-year-old model, and you're building it. The entire reason you're building that, John, is not because it's a state-of-the-art Hellcat. You're building it because it's a 50-year-old model.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to factor that in.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm going to do when I come around to doing the write-up. That's exactly what I'm going to mention. Is that here it is. I built it. If you found one at a show, or if somebody gave you one, is there a good reason to build this kit? Simple answer: no. No reason.
In the same vein that you've got to build that for Spencer's book, I'm building the Edward 72nd one for Spencer's book.
Yeah.
Now the difference there is I'm building that because it is the best state-of-the-art 72nd scale Hellcat. That's the entire reason I'm building that, is because it is the cutting edge. So you and I are building the same subject, but from diametrically opposed reasoning.
Pavel says a lot of echo when Drew speaks. I've got your microphone down quite low. I've rather got my MacBook speaker down quite low. I'm just checking. Edit mic settings. Bear with. Echo cancellation. No, that's normal. I'm not hearing an echo from you. Anybody else hearing an echo from Drew? But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that and see what's happening with that. But yeah, it'll get built, it'll get finished, and it will get built and it'll get finished with the caveat that this is what the kit is like. It's not great. In fact, it's not great. It's not even really good. It is fairly. Let's put it this way, and I'm gonna give this context by the fact that obviously I'm a massive Matchbox fanboy, and there are occasions where people will make blanket statements as if all their kits are bad. No, some of their kits are very good. Some of them are absolute stinkers. This one is just not very good at all.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's a case of, for me, the enthusiasm for Matchbox comes from the odd subjects they did. The vast majority of the mainstream subjects they did, there is absolutely no reason to use that kit these days.
No, unless you want to build it as a nostalgia build.
Yeah. If you want to build a Fairy Sea Fox, Matchbox is where you're going, because that's it. But if you want to build a Hellcat or a P-51D or something like that, you're just not going to do it, are you? No. You're just not going to. Why would you? Unless you are, like you say, doing a nostalgia build.
Yeah, or a fanboy. So,
yeah.
But it's. Yeah, I'm just dulling the paint down with a bit of Scotch Brite. That actually does seem to kind of pull the contrast up a bit. I'm still not convinced though. I'd like a bit more contrast in there, and I might try one of the AK Real Color, probably their dark slate grey, and see what that looks like if I go in there and try and re-establish a bit of contrast. This is probably quite, this is not far off what the actual colours were like.
It's not matching your mental image, is it? It's not.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen paint chips and everything down at Yeovilton, and they really were low contrast between them. But I don't know. See, as soon as I put it about 3 feet away, I can actually see the contrast. As soon as I hold it close up to me, I can't see it. It's bizarre.
Well, it's worth noting that quite often that contrast comes back when you matte it down.
That's why I've just done a little bit of. I think the extra dark sea grey is almost a little bit too light and a little bit too violet.
Because but
the real thing did fade down to something that was light and violet.
I still maintain that as a general rule, the best matches for lacquers still come from Mr. Colour.
Yeah. Okay. Perhaps I will go in there with their extra dark sea grey and redo that, redo the camo on that. Anyway, sorry about that, folks. There we go. That is an utter failure to deliver on time. Not a failure of the model, but just a failure to deliver on time. I'm afraid I am suffering from a lack of modelling mojo. So I think probably, in the year where we stand, this is probably the opportune time to actually redo the workshop and then come back and have a completely new workshop, and I'll be kind of like...
It'll be all re-mojoed up.
I will be all re-mojoed up. So I may have failed, but some of you have
Some others haven't.
Yeah, some of you have done very, very, very well. And some of you have finished models to an exquisite standard. And some of you are still working on models. So like I say, although we set a deadline, it's less about you've got to finish on time, otherwise your model is disqualified. We're not like 1970s model show judges. We are... that model, the wing is overhanging the base by 1 millimeter. It's therefore disqualified. I heard a story about that, actually. That the model was too big for the base, therefore the judge disqualified the model. Yeah. Anyway, so here we go. So let's go on with some of your models. Like I say, it's less important that you finished within the deadline. It's just that some of you have actually got down building models, and that's primarily what we wanted to do. This is get you all building models. So in no great order, Andy King with his
Matchbox beautiful, 110,
which is absolutely spectacular.
That is absolutely beautiful.
It is.
Yeah, and that shows how good a Matchbox kit can clean up.
Yep, absolutely.
Because it's not until you really start looking at it closely that you think, yeah, perhaps it's, the engravings are a little bit heavy, but from a casual glance, it looks excellent, and the masking on the canopy is brilliantly done.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic, Andy. That is just absolutely top class. David Mummery, he's built the Sky Knight, which I've got one, but I never built one.
I built it when it was released because I always really liked the Sky Knight, and I built the Rare Plains vac form as well. And more recently, I built the sword kit. That canopy looks a lot better than I remember it being on that kit.
I seem to remember it was a multi-piece canopy.
Yeah, it was, because it's got that curious bubble effect.
Yeah.
But Matchbox got the shape just right, as far as I can tell. It's and it's a typical Matchbox subject, isn't it? Who else is going to do that in mainstream?
Yeah. Also, from what I can remember of the kit last time I looked in the box, it's actually most of the panel lines on it are actually all raised.
Yes,
so
they are.
It was of that year. I think this was 1987 where this came out, and this was rather nice. And then the Tornado F3 came out, and
it was released. The Sky Knight was released simultaneously with the Mystere 4.
That's it.
Because I bought them both at Fairford the year it was released.
Yep.
Incidentally, the best fixed wing fighter display I ever saw that year at Fairford.
Okay. Then we have Andy Brennan. He's built the Hunter, and he's done it as the 2-seater in Singapore markings, which is pretty hot.
I like the Singapore ones.
Yeah.
The only Hunters with a centerline pylon as well. I did not know. There you go.
But that's a nice tricolor camouflage on that one. But again, it's nothing to do with Andy's build. If you know kind of like the discrepancies with the Matchbox Hunters about how they managed to get all the shapes around the nose completely off, it's amazing how somebody builds one and they do a good job on the paint and everything, that your eye immediately isn't drawn to all the problems with the actual kit nose itself. So that's a testament to the builder, being able to being able to make the kit.
I would like to know how Matchbox managed to get that subject so wrong.
Yeah.
On both noses.
The single seat FGA 9 and the
it's not like it was secret or there was any difficulty finding subjects to study, is it? And they got it just so hopelessly wrong.
Yeah, actually, Dan Wood makes a good comment. He says, "Never heard of a Skynight, but that looks great." Up until Matchbox announced it back in the mid '80s, I'd never heard of a Skynight.
I think
I'd never heard of a Buckeye either. I was just that aero.
Yeah, I mean, my first exposure to the Skynight was very much the Rareplanes kit,
right,
which was released in the early '80s.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a subject that's always intrigued me.
Yeah, Jerry Doyle is one of the rare entries in our Matchbox May of one of their AFE kits, and Jerry's done the Jag Panther, which I built. I built 2 of them as a kid, probably in about a few weeks apart. I somehow managed to end up with 2 kits. So, but that's fabulous, and that is just so that Jag Panther coming through the wall is so iconically Matchbox.
I think Jerry said that was his first build for nearly a year as well.
Excellent.
So, yeah, well, good to see you back on the horse, Jerry. Good to see you back on.
Yeah, absolutely. If that's, this is it. If we're getting people to build things, this is the irony. With I'm doing this to encourage other people to build, and yet myself, I'm just a bit. I've lost it. I've lost that loving feeling, but it will come back. Douglas Hunter was building the Meteor, and having built the Matchbox Meteor on a couple of occasions, I can hand on heart say. That's a sterling effort there, Douglas, because that kit hits where it touches.
Yes, that is for a kit that was looked forward to so thoroughly. It was a disappointment, wasn't it? Really, I mean, we all waxed lyrical and bought boxes full of them, but in the cold light of day, it wasn't their best effort.
I think Mike McAvoy referred to it as their brilliantly designed but terribly executed Meteor. And the thing about it was, excuse me, unlike some of the other kits that came out within that same year or within that same time period, this one was very delicate. It was all raised panel lines, engraved control surfaces. It was, in terms of detail, it was Matchbox at the top of their game. In terms of fit, oh goodness me.
Yeah, it was an interesting. But I mean, we all bought boxes full of them, didn't we?
Yeah.
And Jim Altigott says, was the Skynight a US Air Force or Navy aircraft? Jim, it was US Navy and Marine Corps. It was a night fighter, post-war night fighter. Actually served right up to Vietnam. It's some EW ones, EF-10B aircraft served right up till Vietnam. But it was US Navy.
Yeah. And Mike Williams showing me up here. Mike is building the Sky Raider, and that's as far as I've got with Mike's build. But yeah, I mean, goodness me, he's managed to get those ICM those ICM paints to work. I think he's using the Taka acrylic thinner there, but yeah,
and the colours look great as well. That's a really nice set of contrast in those colours. Really like that.
Yeah, really I'm looking forward to seeing that finish, Mike, because having seen the what you did with the Invader, the ICM Invader, I think Mike's again like the other people contributing this month, is that if you put a bit of effort into these kits, you can actually polish them up into something more than they actually are.
That looks really. I mean, that kit that model has always had not a great reputation as a model, and that looks absolutely stellar. I can't see anything that looks, wrong with that at all.
I'm trying to remember. It was this is the only 48 scale kit of the tandem seat ones, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Because the Eschi kits were sorry?
The dual seat, the side by side seat.
Yeah. Because the Eschi kits were all
single seaters. Well, variants thereof.
Yeah, obviously the Tamiya kit is a single. The Tamiya kit is a single seater. So yeah, that was one of those rather bizarre. Matchbox only ever did 3 48 scale kits. They did this the
Sprite.
Fury and the Sky and the
Sea Sprite.
Yeah, and then that was it. They kind of like tried that, tried it, move on.
But then, I mean, they were announced in sort of 1981, and they didn't turn up till like 1983 or 4, did they?
Yeah,
they were a long time. I mean, I certainly remember the Fury at least going through several box art iterations in different catalogues. But we're really only talking about, you know, turning up 4 or 5 years before Matchbox really ceased to be.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and the Meteor, incidentally, that was featured in a Sam report from one of the toy fairs, and I think it was 1984. But then it just went quiet again, and then it just suddenly then it was announced in 1986, and then it came out in 87. So yeah, that was another one that had a long gestation period. But yeah, fabulous stuff there, Mike. That is just absolutely beautiful, and I'm kind of like that kind of like foot in the bear trap here. Is I really need to get some of that Hataka lacquer, Hataka acrylic thinner rather, and have another go with my my ICM paints, because Mike's showing they can be airbrushed. I just had a horrific time with them, so I'm going to give that another go at some stage. But yeah, fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Just to say one from his one I made earlier. These are old photographs, but this is the Buckeye that I made back in 2009, which I remember picking it up in the Froome Model Centre and coming back that weekend and building that and just having an absolute blast. And I literally built that in the space of a weekend. So that just goes to show what can be done if you've got your mojo. I haven't got my mojo.
Wasn't that sprayed with Vallejo Model Air as well?
That was my first real serious kind of like experience with Vallejo Air, because I bought all the colours there and then. I always remember, this is what I need. This is what I need right now. I always remember I came back. I just set up this workshop, so it was it was just in its early days, and I came back from Froome, and I came back with that Matchbox Buckeye, the Vallejo colours for the camouflage, and also a Dragon 72nd scale Panther 2 as well. And I just remember building them over that weekend and whatnot. But suddenly having that Vallejo leaflet, and it was kind of like telling you about their paints and showing you, how to use them and whatnot. I said whatnot about 1,000 times tonight. And it suddenly felt like there was a brand new hobby to kind of rediscover again, to explore again. And it was a fabulous feeling to suddenly think, that was about the same time you lent me that that painting and weathering with acrylics DVD.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was like, this is a completely new hobby to me again. And I'm hoping that once I remodel, this room, I will, I'll come back in and it'll just be like, it's another one of those kind of feelings of like, and we're off again. I can feel that's where I am at the moment. I just need to have a bit of a sea change, essentially. Right, my MacBook is telling me that my power is low, so bear with. There we go. There we go. I haven't got the power on the doodah. So we have got some other. There are going to be some late contenders for the Matchbox May event. So don't feel that if you haven't finished on time that's it. Just finish it off, because I'll be finishing mine.
It's not, it was a we might say a month, but it's not it's not prescriptive. It's not you have to do it, or you can't be in the gang anymore. No. We'd far rather you finish the model than stayed within the month, frankly.
Yeah. And like I say, we'll have a summer kind of we'll have a bit of a summer, not a summer break, but we'll just be doing kind of like do all your own things over the summer. And I think once we get into August, what's coming August? Airfix August.
Airfix August.
It's going to be Airfix August. So if you go onto our Facebook page, I'll show you where the Facebook page is. If you go onto our Facebook page, and if you go onto the mentions section, and here we go, mention section, and then you can scroll. You can post your stuff there anyway, but you can also go through there, and you will find. There we go. You will find everybody's builds there. In fact, Paul Dunham has been playing catch up with his Armour Hurricanes, which is great. So see, there we go. 22 hours ago, Paul is finishing off his Armour April stuff. Not a problem. It's we're getting people to build things. That's exactly as Uncle Night Shift says. Don't just collect models, build them. And there is Phil Jones with his lovely his Armour Night Intruder Hurricane. Fantastic stuff. There we go. Nick Brown. He's almost finished his Matchbox Hayford.
Oh, I must do one. I got to do a Hayford one day. Got to do a Hayford one day.
Yeah. And Brian Wilton went for Meng Mei. No problem with that. No problem at all. You've built something, Brian. That's the main thing, you know. Dan Wood. This is where he's got to with his Sea Harrier original Matchbox. So yep, fantastic. Just crack on with it, Dan. You know, and then you can post it as and when you're finished. And there's Nick's Hayford again. I built that kit in 1987 actually, but I made an absolute mess of it. And there's Brian's. That's beautiful, Brian. I think we'll have an enlargement of that. That is absolutely beautiful.
It's very nice, yeah,
isn't it? Yes. I'm getting really concerned now that. Oh,
hello.
What's that?
That Hurricane.
Yeah, the Night Intruder Hurricane.
No, there was another one that was just showing.
Yeah, the SEAC one.
Yeah.
Well, you're not. Yeah, there we go. The SEAC one.
That's nice.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Ooh. So these are all. If you go to our page and click on mentions, that's where you can post your own stuff. And that's where also you can see other people's bits and pieces as well. What we should try and do is share these across onto the main page as well. But we've got there, we've got Mike Williams there. That's one of his Armour Hurricanes that he built a couple of years ago. You know, absolutely brilliant, Mike. And there's David's Sky Knight. And Dan's Sea Harrier, and I think we're going backwards in time now. This was Andy when he was working on the his Messerschmitt 110. But again, we'll just ping that one up there. I mean, that is just
it's fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic.
You wouldn't think that was the Matchbox kit. So yeah, so that's where you go if you want to post your stuff, and you know, and like I say, we'll try and cross post some of it as well. I just scroll down. But I really do appreciate everybody who's contributed this month. And, you know, just carry on. Don't worry if you've missed the deadline, because I should be posting.
And it has to be said, don't feel constrained by the fact that we have subjects for the month. Share what you're building anyway. Just share what you're building.
Yeah.
Please.
That's,
you know. Right. Is it new kit time?
Well, as you can see,
I finished the model this week.
All right, go on. Show us your model. Show us what you finished this week. Go on then.
Oh, finally. In fact, I finished it today. So.
Hold on.
Oh, hang on.
That's a big model.
So yeah, I finished the Leopard 2 Revolution today. So. I like I said on my own page, one of the phrases I dislike most in modeling is I'm calling it done.
Yeah.
But I have to say at some point I had to walk away from this and go, no, that's enough. But I think it's come out really, really nicely. I'm really happy with it. So yeah, that's been about 2.5 weeks, in 2.5-3 weeks. And I'm still looking at bits on that as I look at it and thinking, yeah, I need a bit of matte varnish in there. And so, although I'm calling it done, it's probably going to. But yeah, there's that's the Tiger Models Leopard 2 Revolution. Okay.
I think you should call that done.
I'm looking at it. There's probably 1 or 2 little areas that I'll I'll hit with some flat varnish later on, just as a 2-minute job. But I really like the way the dust went on the sides.
What was that? Airbrushed and then streaked with a paintbrush?
That is AK 3rd generation buff and medium sea grey mixed together. They're misted over. I mean, thinned, about 95%. And then I basically went over it. One of those stiff Humbrol flat brushes.
I've got several in a mug in front of me here.
Yeah, I need some more of those. But yeah, that was just immediately the paint had been applied. I went over it with one of those wetted and just streaked it vertically. And I think it's had a really nice. It's done a really nice job of getting the effect that I was after. So, yeah, there's my there's my latest production armor kit. And now we have to go back to aircraft.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So you've had.
Well, bear with just a second. Breaking news. I'm just going on to mentions because I think. Hang about. I think. Damn. I've just lost the message now. Oh, it's your brother Rory. He says I've just posted my Heinkel 115 on the page. Well, if you have Rory, I can't find it. It's not up there. So, oh no, I'm just doing a quick refresh. A quick refresh. Let's have a look. Nope, sorry, Rory, not a Robbie sausage up there at the moment. So, sort by most recent.
I'm looking as well, and I can't see it.
Yeah, Hayford. Not there at the moment, Rory, but keep trying. We'll try and get it.
As soon as it shows up, we will clearly share it
at the end of the show. Right.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I see it. It's about 3 minutes ago on the mentions.
Okay. I'm looking here. I've got it. I've got everything set to most recent, and I can't see a thing at the moment. Let's try it one more time, and then we'll get on. We'll crack on with the unboxing. Sort. This is. I don't want most relevant. I want most recent by default. Thank you, Facebook. And nope. All I'm getting is Nick's Hayford as the most recent thing posted.
Mine's by most relevant, and it's still showing up. About 6 posts down, maybe.
Okay. All right, Rory. We'll try and find it on the timeline and pop it up at the end of the show. But it's not showing at the moment. Other people can see it. I can't see it. How strange.
Yeah, sometimes changing it to most recent stuff doesn't help. It buries stuff rather than, because Rory's posted that's actually quite relevant at the moment.
Yeah.
So that will show up.
Okay. I think hang about switch profile or account. I'm switching over to our account, and that might actually do the trick. Welcome to 55-year-old man doesn't know how to use Facebook, and which probably means that I don't understand how to use Facebook. That will probably mean I can get elected to the local town council. Oh, did he say that? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, a little bit of politics. Politics. Here we go. Right, I found it now. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Let's share screen. Share screen. Chrome tab. There we go. There is Rory's Heinkel 115. And yeah, we'll try and skirt over the
painted. I really like 72, 73. I think they're great colours.
Yep, I agree.
They're far more interesting colours than 70, 71, aren't they?
Yep.
But again, a kit I was looking at Rory's a couple of days ago, and it's actually the majority of panel detail on it is very fine raised.
Yeah.
There's only a very few recessed details on it. In fact, looking at his made me think, I want one of them.
I tell you the one I really do still kind of like covet, and that is the Dornier 18 they do. You know, the flying boat.
Yes, yeah. Who was it who did? Who was it who did the one in scale aircraft modelling in about 1987?
Jim Howard.
Was it Jim Howard?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, remember that one? Very good. I'll have to dig out that article. It might have been Jim Howard. I might have got that wrong. Anyway, let's go to unpacking cam. Oh, here we go. How exciting! So this, as you can probably guess, has come all the way from the Ukraine. Sorry, not the Ukraine. Come from Ukraine rather. And yes, goodness me, given what's going on in that country, the fact that they're still able to send things out, the fact that they have a functioning postal system, I find remarkable, utterly remarkable. It speaks volumes for the resilience of the of the Ukrainian people. It really does. So we have a box here. Ooh. Ooh. Right, okay. Here we go. And we have, well, Drew, that will be winging its way to you, or wingsying its way to you.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
Joke. That will be winging its way to you at some stage.
Excellent is the correct answer.
Let's just have a quick look. I'll have a quick look in. Oh, you
gotta love that kind of packaging.
Have you ever seen any of their kits before?
Wingsy? I'm not up close, no.
So you haven't got any of their kits?
No.
No, right, okay. So let's just have a quick. Oh, actually, I can take it out of the bag because rather kindly, they do use Ziploc bags, which is good. So I can manhandle your kit before you get your hands on it. So let's. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That is absolutely gorgeous. My.
Whoa.
Oh my! That is absolutely stunning. So a quick look in the other sprues while we're at it. So we've got wheels there, leading edge slat. Even the leading edge slats rather, it's got very fine kind of rivety detail on it. That is absolutely stunning. My gob is well and truly smacked. And even on the undercarriage legs as well, undercarriage doors rather. Can you see the rivets on it?
Yeah.
I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this kit, Drew.
That's a thing of beauty, isn't it?
It is, and also the fabric effect on the rudder there.
Yeah,
is very subtly done.
Yeah,
that is absolutely astonishing. Well, that's the fuselage and some of the interior bits and pieces there. So we're going to go to the wings of the Wingsy kit.
We're going to go to the Wingsy.
Yeah, the Wingsy. We'll try and get all the Wingsy jokes out as much as we can. So let's have a look at this. And I mean, for all these people who always say, "Oh, do we need another 109 kit? Do we need this? Do that?" And we'll touch upon that before the end of the show tonight, because obviously we've had an announcement this week about another new kit that's coming out. But you know, do we need another 109E kit in 48 scale? Do you know what? When it's this good, yes.
Yeah, I mean, when it pushes the envelope of, you know, the quality, then I just don't see what there is to complain about. You know, if that kit,
have to buy it.
If that kit wasn't as good as the Edouard kit, I might be tempted to go, well, you know, it's fine. But it doesn't move me. I can live without it. But looking at that, it's like, yes, I want it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you are going to get it. Don't worry, it's coming. It will be heading your way. And
yeah, that's
amazing, isn't it?
That's really rather spectacular, isn't it? That's,
and even on the inside of the strengtheners there as well, it's got fine rivet detail over it. I think I'll try and zoom in on the spinners as well, because the spinners have also got kind of plating and rivet detail on them, which is something that tends to be overlooked on 109s. And you get 4 different types of spinner there as well, for all the subtypes. I wonder whether they've included everything on the sprues here, or a bit like how Airfix did theirs, or whether there are actually additional sprues which give you the extra subtypes. Certainly, some of these sprues appear to be universal and have everything on them. So, like I say, you've got.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there's things like they've done the 109E1, haven't they? So that's a separate wing sprue and stuff like that. So,
that is quite special, isn't it?
Really rather beautiful, isn't it?
It is. And then we've got. I'm just going to go through the rest of the box here. Oh, blimey! It goes on and on and on and on and on. So we've got a little bag there with the clear parts here. I'm not going to get those out. Excuse me. Some photo etch bits. Jolly good. And then let's pop these back in the box. Well, this is the first time I've ever seen inside a Wingsy kit. I've seen the builds of them online and everything, but I've not seen inside a box or anything. So here we have instructions, and you wanted the E4, so that's what you've got. Rather nice decal sheet there, which is printed by. Doesn't say who it's printed by, but I tell you something. Oh, actually, it does. It's printed by. Has a look at the. It's printed by Decograph, who are a Ukrainian company, and I got to tell you, that's cartograph levels.
Excellent.
That's superb. That is utterly superb. From a personal point of view, they've kept the varnish edges are really tight to the items, and they're quite thin. They're very matte, but they're quite thin. And I will be very interested to see how you get on with these, because these look superb. The registration, everything on these is absolute top dollar. That's very interesting. Then the instruction sheet. And we've got a mixture of plastic and photo etch here for things like the rudder pedals. And just the basics: undercarriage, cockpit. Yeah, cockpit builds up into a tub, which is rather neat. Right. Actually, excuse me, that's rather rapid, isn't it? Here are all the parts. So that's for the cockpit. And there's that's the interior. Get the fuselage halves together, and then okay, there we go. Bits and pieces for the radiator. Interesting that the radiator is built up of of multi parts. So some kits mold the radiator as a single piece that drops in. These are actually made up of kind of top, bottom.
I think that's like Edward with their Spitfires. They did them that way because then the geometry's right.
Yeah,
because they tend to be those radiators tended to hang vertical, whereas if they're molded in one part, they'll be sort of on the same plane as the wing.
Yeah, compromised. I am absolutely. Oh, and canopy mast as well. I am absolutely lost for words with that. That is utterly beautiful. And it should be pointed out that this was ordered from Wingsy. They haven't sent these to us because they like our taste in music. They've sent these to us because we have invested in their economy. And you know what? I get the feeling that I might be making some more investments in their economy.
We'll be investing in Ukraine some more.
Exactly. That is utterly fabulous. Yeah. And as we said, anybody who questions, well, do we need another 109 kit? Well, yeah, we do when they're that good. So I will put that aside, and that will be winging its way to you as and when I see you next. So we'll try and catch up at some stage and do some exchanges. But yeah, that is from top to bottom. That is a quality product from Wingsy. It really is. Loving that. Absolutely loving that. So what was the thing that I ordered? I ordered a Claude because I love. Hang about, my cabling is falling over the desk at the moment here. I've always liked the Claude ever since I saw a model of a resin one in fine scale modeler back in the 1980s.
I remember that.
Yeah, something about it. It's a nice shape, and yeah, it's kind of zero-y-ish, but not quite. It's still got its technology mired in a previous era. But yeah, so I ordered this because I really do fancy building one of these. I can feel my mojo coming back a bit, actually.
Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah, funny that. So what have we got here? This is from 2016. So this is one of their slightly older kits, but I get the feeling Wingsy hit the ground running, and they've just been kind of like, improving ever since, really. So let's have a look. You know what? I really like the fact these are in Ziploc bags, because it makes for getting them in and out much easier. And again, we'll do a zoom in here. Oh, look at that!
Yeah, it's all there, isn't it? It's all there.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, this is an incentive to get my workshop sorted out, because really, it's interesting how they don't bother doing any kind of like molding on the inside of the fuselages. They do those separate pieces, which means you're not ending up with lots of stuff that can actually put sink marks into the fuselage.
Yeah.
So that's notable.
Plastic quality looks really nice as well.
Sorry?
The plastic quality looks really nice as well.
It's a nice hard plastic.
Yeah, it's really. In this day and age of incredibly fine moldings, I think it's increasing in importance how good the plastic is.
Yep, I agree. Absolutely agree. Notable this week that it was announced that the big Airfix 24 scale spit is going to be molded in the UK.
Right.
That's good news. But yeah, there's your engine. There's, goodness me, there are some really fine. There's some fine stuff there that will require possibly a new pair of nippers, I think. Especially all those push rods on that engine.
You know a kit's good when you're talking about updating your tool collection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think my Despise are good for most tasks, but they're a little bit long in the tooth now, and I think even they are going to probably start taking these bits off the sprue with all the subtlety of a two-footed tackle. So, but that's very nice. Some very nice engine detail there. Cockpit is absolutely gorgeous. Look at this. Got your sidewall detail there. You got your floor, bulkheads. We've got the instrument panel. That is absolutely lovely, and I love this dark grey plastic as well.
Yeah, it's really, really nice, isn't it?
It's kind of reminiscent of early
Really nice.
early 90s Tamiya when they came back and they started molding their aircraft kits, and they did them in that dark grey plastic. Yeah, that is superb. And then we got the wings.
See?
Again, yeah, very good.
It's going to run. Let's be honest, that joke's going to run and run.
I think anybody who's ever seen my anybody's ever had the misfortune to see my ghost story shows knows that there are certain words that I fall into a trap of pronouncing them a certain way, and it's really annoying. It ruins the show, Brian. But yeah, look at that. That's gorgeous. Oh, do you know what, Drew? I am looking at this and I'm thinking, I can't wait to get some silver paint on this.
Yeah, that says clear the bench. Clear the bench. We're coming in hot.
This says get a new bench. Separate separate control surfaces there as well. We're going to overrun a bit tonight, but what the heck? And yeah, the detail on this is just exquisite.
Yeah, because I haven't even started covering my Polish care package yet.
We are we are going to have to. Yeah, we're going to overrun tonight, folks. So go and put the kettle on. Yeah, those tailplanes are molded in one piece as well.
Yeah,
not a sign of any shrinkage or ejection. Yeah, actually, Drew, look at that.
There's no ejector pins, is there?
No. He said with a voice that only dogs can hear. There are absolutely no ejection pin marks on these parts, so they must be put them on the sprues. That is notable. Or they just punch it out of the mold on this bit here. Just put one great big biggie one in there. Yeah. Let's go on to the instructions, because this is it's like Christmas Day here, and my family say, stop reading the book and open another present, and I'm like, but this is it's just gorgeous. I know we tend to be a little bit enthusiastic sometimes about this hobby. When you got kits like this, it's very easy to know why we're enthusiastic about this hobby, because this is I'm going to need a stiff drink after this. Right, and then we have the instructions. Another beautiful decal sheet, which looks to have been done by the same company in Ukraine. But that is
look at the shapes of those bands.
Yeah,
they have completely looked at the contours, haven't they, of the fuselage?
Yeah, they built the distortion in.
Because I bet that goes on dead straight.
Yeah, trust me, that's as somebody sometimes have to do these things. They are an absolute pain dans the derrière to do.
I would be tempted to use one of those just to see how it fits.
Yeah. Well, we'll come to the schemes in a minute, because I think I already know what scheme I'm going to finish mine in, but we'll come to that. And we've got the instruction sheet. Let's just zoom out a bit. Let's go wide. So, we've got a photo etched sprue as well, a photo etched fret rather, which has got some very nice parts on there, and also zoom in, zoom out, in out. Also, a film for instruments as well. There we go. Now, a fret like that, you're easily paying about £5 for, aren't you?
Oh, easily, yeah.
No, easily. So there we go. Always good to have a sprue map. The instrument panel is kind of made up of, it looks like you've got choices of photo etch or using the plastic parts. Got the photo etch bits for the seat straps. This is just fabulous, really. If only there was a year and a month that began with a W, because we could have Wingsy Wocktober or something, it would. Yeah, exactly. Look at this. This is brilliant. And also spattered and unspattered undercarriage. And then the schemes.
Ooh.
That one's quite nice. However, my
eye, none of them are unattractive, are they?
None of them are unattractive.
Number 2 looks like the beers.
I've got to say, my eye is drawn to that one.
Right? Yeah. Like I say, none of those are unattractive schemes.
I think the only thing that goes against that one is it doesn't have quite as much going on the wings as these ones do.
Yeah. What a pretty aeroplane.
Yeah, absolutely. I am going to have to do some soul searching with this one to try and figure out which schemes I am going to finish mine in. And there's there are the clear parts, and that's it. That's pinged off the sprue a bit there, but no, never mind. That'll be fine. What can we say? We wanted to feature Wingsy on the range on the show for a while. You know, sorry?
You haven't put the etch set in.
Oh, etch set, yeah. We wanted to feature Wingsy on the show for a while, and obviously combining that with our wish to support Ukrainian kit companies. And yeah, there we go. There are the schemes. Actually, I just bear with. Just going back into the kit again. Un momento, per favore. I've just noticed something, and I'm wondering whether they've actually included it on the decal sheet. They have. I think I've just found the one I'm going to do. Is that one there with the flag on the aerial mast?
Oh yeah,
they give you the flag.
They give you the flag.
They give you the flag. So, I mean, these kits weren't cheap. I think they ended up being about 30 quid each, which combined with the postage, you know, we don't want to. I think we're both very conscious of the fact that, you know, in this era of, you know, of cost of living crises and things like that, you know, these are, you know, these are these are totally luxury items. But
yeah, absolutely,
you know,
absolutely.
Although I budgeted for them, so you know that's my bit of luxury.
And on the other hand, it's kind of important to say that you bought them as well. So it's not, you know, although they're not cheap, they were paid for. So yep. It's not, you know, that they weren't gratis from Wingsy. As delighted as we would be to have Wingsy as friends, clearly from the quality of that.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's still not a massively expensive hobby in that in those terms.
No. Oh, now here's a good one from Jim. He says, "How about a month's theme being kits by Ukrainian model makers?" Yeah, I think we can do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's you're not exactly stumped for choice these days, are you? That's the thing.
Well, you know, we joked about that. Pretty much, Somerset is the model capital of the UK in terms of model shops. If you look at model manufacturers, Ukraine is very much, you know, the event horizon.
Ukraine is not just ascendant. I would say Ukraine is pretty much leading the pack these days.
Yeah.
It really, really is. And we can't contain our delight at the way they've weathered the storm so far and got back to business.
Well, I noticed on the feed this week, and we actually put it up on the timeline, was that Modelsvit have announced their second P51 P82 Mustang.
Gimme.
And actually,
I've got.
You've just bear with me a sec because my brain's a bit fuzzy at the moment. Have they already released the 48 scale P82, or is this
F82? They've released the F82G.
Right, so they have already released one of the variants.
Night Fighter. This is the all-weather fighter variant with the fantastic Alaskan markings in it. So.
Oh, there we go. Look, Dan's come up with Junecranian.
Yeah, you know,
it would be good, but I think we just need to have a bit of let other people get on with their own projects for the moment, and then we'll I think we'll do Airfix April. Airfix August, and then I think around about October-ish we will have another kind of like another.
Yes, I think just a few months for people to just do whatever they build.
Oct Crane. No, does that work? Oct Crane. No. Okay. Right. Okay. Look, I've waffled on for far too long now. What have you got, Drew?
Well, we had a care package from our friends at Armour. You may remember Armour April that went very well, I thought.
Yeah, brilliant.
So I will switch to the overhead and we'll get a few kits in here. Now these as opposed to the wingsy ones that were bought, these were actually, shall we say, sent to us as review samples. So there's the Fokker E5.
We'll trade you that for a 109E.
You want that one?
I'd like the look of that.
Right. Well, we got the Fokker E5, which is the expert set. So that's a variety of decal options and etched and stuff. We've got the limited edition Yak 1 in Allied service, which was one of the ones I originally said I was really interested in building. With, as you can see, a variety of schemes, Yugoslavian.
I like the Yugoslav one.
And the Normandy Nimien one there for the French pilots.
I do like that Yugoslav one.
We got another Mustang, which we've covered in some detail already with multiple builds and stuff. And I think we're all in agreement. It's just a spectacular model, isn't it?
Yep.
So we got one of those, and finally, and with no little fanfare, the KI-84 was sent to us, and this is the one that I've been waiting for. So this is very potentially going to be on my desk in the next day or so to start. But as you can see, we can take it out the box here and have a quick look at it. It's the expert set, so it's got a set of etch there for the ignition harnesses and stuff. Canopy masks. And remarkably, just 2 screws left. Just 2 screws.
Good grief.
That's it. And once you get up close, you can see everything we've said about the Mustang holds true for this. It's absolutely spectacular. And I mean, basically go back and watch the reviews you made of the Mustang and just sort of extrapolate to this, because I mean, you look at how fine stuff like those undercarriage legs are. And all this engine detail, you know, complete interior sidewall detail, those strange little ejector things here, which don't appear to have had any impact on the outside whatsoever. But the fidelity of the detail on this is just, it's exquisite. It's exquisite. I think this might be just to cover open and closed canopy variants. So they've so rather than have different canopies, one of which will be oversized, they've done different cockpit openings to fit each one. Although they are quite different designs, so we'll have to have a look at that and see. And then this little sub-sprue here with tailplanes on it, bombs, drop tanks. One thing I did notice that's well worth commenting on is the kind of thing we're starting to see these days. The bomb fins here have got a handhold. So you kind of slide them into the back of the bomb once you've assembled the bomb, let it dry, and then you snip that handhold off. So that bit there, all of this bit here, is a handhold, just so you can pop it into place and glue it, and then just cut it off. Which is, I think, really, it just shows the way they're thinking about the model of these days.
Yeah,
we're getting incredibly good, incredibly high quality kits, but they're also thinking about the person who's going to be building them.
I'm just going to say, Drew, I was looking at the sway braces on that runner you've got there.
Well, this one, yeah, these,
the sway braces, they are absolutely minuscule.
Yeah,
I mean, this is that was the kind of stuff 30 or even 40 years ago. That's why we started getting photo etch stuff turning up, because you couldn't mold to that kind of fidelity. Now you can.
Yes, absolutely beautifully done decal sheet here.
Is that tech?
Yes. Yeah, Tech Mod. Yeah, beautifully printed. Different colours for different Hinamarus there, look. And a small addendum sheet, which I will have to check. But as before, we've got multiple sets of stencils and stuff. So for other boxings or over trees and stuff. So very, very nicely done. So, and then we get to the instruction sheet. And yeah, it's actually a remarkably simple build. I'm just checking out the canopy.
Yeah, there it is there.
Part. So yeah, in fact, no, it is two separate designs. So I was wrong about that. It's two separate designs for different styles of sliding canopy. Or is it? I don't.
No, I think it's open and closed.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah, there you go. There's open and closed parts. So you've got a one part for open. You've got three parts, one part for closed, three parts for open, and parts 21 and 22 are used depending. So yeah, my initial sort of suspicion was correct in that they've done that rather than give oversized open canopy parts. So see the bond there? So cut off after assembly. And then a whole bunch of color schemes. So again, like the Claude, most of these schemes are very attractive, I think.
Oh.
There's that one. We've got a natural metal one there. This one, which I'm particularly taken with, I have to say. With lots of white bits and whatnot on it. Although I do love that flash under the canopy of that one. That would be a masking and spraying fun job. And last but by no means least, for those who like a challenge.
Yeah. I gotta say, I like the go back a page. I like the one with the yellow flashes on it. That one, yeah. I like that one. I like the white bands, the yellow markings on it, the yellow bands, the white bands on the wing. I think that's just.
But everything has a something about it that sells it, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think if you're going to do one, me personally, I would do one with the green upper surfaces.
Yes, I very much that's how I think of the KI-84, and certainly would be how I would. I'm going to deal with that in a minute. I hate these bags with the sticky.
Now you know why I was eulogising about Wingsy using clip bags.
So the thing is that we've been sent these. Now I want the KI. I want the KI-84 clearly, as we've discussed. John, did you want the Fokker E5?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So, as before, guys, what we have is. Let's zoom out a bit.
Blurry picture, yeah.
What we have is a Yak 1B and a Mustang here. Which I am obviously with your agreement, John, I will put out for the members. I'll be happy to send them to members, but the flip side of that is that they have to. The caveat is that they have to be built, and not put on a stash somewhere and forgotten about. We're perfectly happy to send these kits out to members. But you know the caveat there, like we say, they have to be built, and we have to have some kind of input from you on the build for the interesting modelling company and Armour. More importantly, if Armour send these to us, we're happy to share them, but we need to be using them as tools to advertise Armour and ourselves. So,
well, Dan has expressed an interest in the P50. Well, he expressed an interest in the P51 before he even knew that that we were actually looking for builders.
Dan, so, if you can guarantee to build it, Dan, and like I say, what we don't want is these disappearing into stashes. They're sent to us. They're sent to us free of charge. They're not cheap models. I mean, that Mustang is a thick end of 25 quid, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
These are not cheap models. So we want sort of some value for money for Armour, who are kind enough to send them to us.
Mm-hmm.
So if you drop if you're interested, drop it into messages. So there's a Yak 1B, like I say, there's a Mustang there, and a Yak 1B, which are for grabs. They're both fairly simple, not terribly complicated kits, so it won't take too much of your time up. But I think that's a fair enough sort of quid pro quo, isn't it?
I would agree. I would absolutely agree. There you go. Dan says, I can 100% guarantee I'll build it. I'm not a top level modeler though. That doesn't matter.
That's fine, Dan. In that case, Dan, at this point, if you contact us through messages with your address and stuff, we'll get it on the way to you. And the same, if anybody wants a Yak 1, let us know. And when you get the Fokker, you build it.
Oh yeah, I'll build that. Yeah, don't worry, I'll build it. Because that looks like a no, God, I will build that. I mean, I'm not at the moment. I'm not taking on any additional projects here other than finishing the Hellcat off for Spencer, and I'm going to do a little bit of pottering, Harry Pottering on the little mini art tempo. But beyond that, I really need to get this place sorted. And June is I've got it fixed in my head that June is the month I really need to kind of like just go in here and just get it all, So don't nod too enthusiastically, because I might actually invite you up to do some painting. So
George,
share the wealth. I'll pay you in curry and videos. But
a first time in 3 years watching of the thing.
Yeah, well, there is that. But
thanks very much to Armour Hobby for providing the kits to us, and we will try to make it worth their while sending them to us, shall we say?
And I'll also say, sounds strange to say a big thank you to Wingsy Wings for sending the kits we ordered. When you see what is happening in their country, that they are confident enough that they will continue production and they are sending kits out, and the Ukrainian postal system is functioning. I will be honest with you, when this box turned up and I saw where it came from, I did have a bit of a big gulp. It was just like, wow, wow. And I know it sounds daft that for all the horrible things that are going on in Ukraine, that we're sitting here and we're trying to kind of like, we're talking about a box of plastic toys that have turned up. The point is that this box of plastic toys is going to keep the lights on at Wingsy for a bit longer.
It's absolutely phenomenal stuff. I'd have to say from Armour Hobby being the Polish side of the equation, they are, the support they're showing to Ukraine at the moment is just above and beyond. So it's an absolute delight to have stuff from producers in Poland and Ukraine.
Yep, absolutely.
And long may it continue.
Yep. So I really need to sit down and do a bit of logistics here to get this workshop done. If not this month, then definitely July. Get budgeting for it either way. And I know you're looking forward to coming up, and then you can sit in your corner and have your corner of the workshop.
Yes, in my corner. Yes.
It's like the moment the final lick of paint went on in the library, and I moved the chaise longue upstairs and kind of got it in position by the fireplace, and I sat there and I looked at it, I thought, this looks great. And then Dirt walks in, looks at me, looks at the chaise longue, jumps up, looks at me and goes, well, this will do very nicely, thank you very much. And it's like,
oh, a new place for me.
It's his room. It's his room that he shares with me, despite the fact that, you know, it's supposed to be my library. No, that's Derp's room. What's in that room? That's Derp's room. Yeah, anyway. Right, I'm going to go and get me belt.
Yeah, I think we'll save the other discussion we were going to have for Sunday night.
Yes, I think we will.
Because there's been even more developments in the last day or so that are well worth talking about. So we will maintain the air of mystery over that discussion until Sunday.
And we might also ask, might also be grilling Powell over this as well.
Yes.
Jim says, Jonathan, how's Leicester and Welwyn going? It's going up in the attic, Jim. That's how it's going. Despite the fact that it's, you know, I'm tremendously excited about 30 Scale Western and Welwyn. It's my favorite aeroplane, and it's a beautiful kit. I haven't got the time to really kind of get in the zone to build it at the moment. So with other things kind of like jostling for space, sorry about that. We'll get round to doing it again at some stage, coupled with the fact that my mojo has gone AWOL. I will get on with it at some stage. But yeah, sorry about that.
It's not dead, it's just resting.
Exactly. It's it's a bit like one of those songs that a band says, let's dust that song off and see if that's any good, and then they record it and then it goes on to be a greatest hit. So, you know, it's a bit like that. We're just there's a couple of people who say they'd like to build something but they're a bit swamped. We know the feeling. So we will talk about the other thing on Sunday, along with some other modelling news items. So other than that, any other business, Drew?
Not from me, no. I'm still desperately trying to repack this KI-84. Hang on, there we go. Like a glove.
He gets her in the end.
Look, I'll show you. Look, what I did. What I did was a sticky bit there that always catches on. I stuck it down and then fit it in that way. And then went.
That's probably how they do it in the factory.
I would think it is. Yep. There you go. So there we go. But one perfectly repackaged KI-84 with a beautiful box art.
I've got to say that when I was moving stuff around here the other day, and I came across my I need to put it in the display cabinet. I came across my Armour P51, and I just looked at it and thought, not so much, nothing to do with my skills as a modeler. I looked at that and I thought, goodness me, that is just a gorgeous kit, isn't it? It's it's sometimes when you take your eye off something, when you come back to it, you see it, and then you suddenly go, God, that is gorgeous, isn't it? And that Armour Mustang is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Absolutely.
Pavel, yes, I do have the clear parts. I do. You're right. I just didn't show them. They are in there, so no worries.
Yeah. Yes, we'll be asking you questions on Sunday, Powell. So
Yeah.
Show up nice and early.
Make yourself available, young man.
Make yourself available. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it. It's a 90-minute one tonight. We're not going to have any extra time, but of course, we will. We will on the 19th of June. June. We will see what I mean about when words that suddenly you get caught in a trap of doing things. That's my Terry Scott moment there. A Midsummer Night's Marathon on Sunday, June the 19th. We'll be kicking off at 19:30 hours BST, or 7:30 in Imperial. And we'll have Mike Reeves from Phase Hangar. We're also going to try and shoehorn in some other guests, but this is going to be it will be a marathon. We are going to let this run probably into midnight, and it's going to be one long thing of chat and more chat and everything. So this is one, for goodness sake, don't try eating it all at once. You'll be sick. You might just want to kind of dip in and dip out, really. So but yeah, we're looking forward to that. That's fingers crossed. That should be a bit of Midsummer Night's fun, actually. And of course, you know what? I know it's not actually midsummer. Midsummer's 2 days later, but midsummer, and the nights start drawing in again. Yay! So for us, for kind of like summer phobes like us, the thought of the cooler days of autumn ushering towards us is blessed relief. So
glorious, isn't it?
It is.
Glorious.
But in fact, I was thinking this the other day. Actually, is we're probably about a little short over 8 weeks away from the IPMS Avon show. In fact, I'm just going to quick look on the old calendar here. Goodness me, Drew. Hold on to your trousers. The IPMS Avon show is Sunday, the 7th of August. So that is just 9 weeks away.
Yeah.
And that'll come round quick enough.
Yeah, and it's not on a bloodstock weekend, so
that's good. So there we go. Who knows? By then, I might have my new workshop installed, and and apparently, because we like autumn, Tim says you're sick. But of course, you know what Tim's done, don't you? That's not how you spell your, Tim.
oh,
how you spell your. So yep, that's it. So anyway, look, we'll be back on we definitely will be back on Sunday. I won't be swanning it around Burton on the Water this weekend, so we'll definitely be back on Sunday. You've been up there, by the way.
It rings a bell, but I don't think I have.
Just slightly east of Cheltenham.
Right.
Utterly fabulous place, really, just overwhelmingly kind of like beautiful to look at. I didn't even get the chance to visit the maze or the motor museum or the model village. As soon as I got out of the car park and turned around the corner, the first two shops I saw was the Victorian Christmas shop and a cafe, and I thought, I'm going to like this place.
Yeah, didn't need to go any further, really, did you?
Honestly, every other place there is a tea room or of one sort or another. And, they're all wanting you to go in there and spend your shillings and pence. And it was just a phenomenally beautiful place. It really was. And it's, I thought on the way up there, well, I might like this place. No, I love it. It's great. So anyway.
Fair enough.
I go out and bought. Yes, there we go. Andy King is right. Burton on the Water, even as a model shop, it does. I didn't get a chance to go in there, but it does have a model shop. So
there you go. One for the future.
We will report from that next time. So anyway, on that note, we'll just say thank you for watching. Everybody who's watching. We've left a couple of cliffhangers here tonight, which is always good fun. People going, what? What was that? You'll have to tune on Sunday. So on that note, big thank you to Drew for tonight. Of course, a big thank you to everybody who has taken part and is still taking part in our Matchbox May event. I know it says runs from the 1st of May to the 1st of June, but just finish the models off. It doesn't matter. There's no deadline.
No, it's about building. That's all we care about, building.
Because I certainly do need a bit of extra time to unfail this. So on that note, thank you, everybody. We will be back on Sunday. So until then, you know the drill. Stay safe.
Take care, all, and we'll see you
then.
Sunday.